Hello everyone, welcome back to our SOLIDWORKS course. In this video, we would be creating a new part using the surfacing techniques. Let's take a look at what our part is for this exercise video. As you can see over here on the screen, this is the part that we would be creating using surfacing. I have also added a sectional view for this part. The reason for adding this sectional view is that the first feature or the base feature that we would be creating for this part would be this revolve over here. Let's not waste any time over here and move to SOLIDWORKS and begin with our modeling. I will first launch SOLIDWORKS and then create a new part by pressing Ctrl A on the keyboard and double clicking on part over here. Once the new part has been created, we will now start sketching on the front plane. I will click on the front plane and then select sketch. Once I am into the sketching mode, I will first create a center line over here passing from the origin like this, and which is horizontal. I will move my sketch over here a bit. Next, I will get into the normal line command and then start sketching from here. I will now create a line vertically upwards. I will get my cursor back to this endpoint over here and then create an arc over here. Create a line downwards vertically. Next, I will create a horizontal line over here. Again, I will create an arc, bring it backwards, and now I will create an arc over here like this and then bring it downwards. Once I have done this, I will press escape and exit the sketching, or rather the line command. Now I will start defining all these points with the help of dimensions. First, I will get into the smart dimensions command. I will select this point over here, press shift and then select this arc or circle over here. I will give this a dimension of 20 millimeters. Next, I will give this arc a radius of 7.5 millimeters. Once we are done doing this, I will now select this point. My mistake, I will select this point over here and then the center line, and we will give it a diametrical. I have added a radius dimension over here. I will first delete it, again get back into the smart dimensions, select this point and then give it a diametrical dimension of 70 millimeters. Once we have done this, we will give this point that is the center of our circle a diametrical dimension of 85 millimeters. Again, we have by mistake added a radius dimension. I will press escape, select this point, select the center line and give it a diametrical dimension of 85 millimeters. Once we are done with this, you can see that some part of my sketch is now fully defined. We will move to this side of our sketch. I will give a diametrical dimension of 40 millimeters over here. Next, we will give a dimension of 50 millimeters over here. Once we have done this, I will now go here. I will first press escape, zoom in, and now select these 2 points by pressing Ctrl and make them horizontal. Once I have done that, I will now get into the Smart Dimensions tab again and give this a radius of 5 millimeters. We have one last step over here, that is we have to give the horizontal dimensions for this whole section of sketch over here. I will enter 100 and now you can see that my sketch is now completely defined. I will go to surfaces and then revolve my surface. From the end condition, I will select mid plane and give it a revolve degree of 180 degrees. Once I have done this, I will click on OK. And now here you can see this is how we have created our first base or the first feature of our geometry, that was done by using revolve. Next, we will sketch on the top plane. Once I am into the sketch mode, I will press Ctrl A. Now I will first draw again a center line passing from this origin like this, which is horizontal as well. Next here, I will create an ellipse. The ellipse would be starting from the center point over here. This would be my ellipse. I will get into the smart dimensions, give the ellipse its dimensions. I want the minor axis to be of 10 millimeters and the major axis to be of 20 millimeters. Once we have done this, you can see that still the ellipse is not fully defined. It might be because of this reason. Yes, I will select this point, press Ctrl and then select the center point over here, and I will make both of them vertical. Once I have done this, you can see that now my ellipse is completely defined. Next, we will move to mirror entities. Select all of these using box select. Press the right mouse button, select this line over here, that is the center line, and without moving the mouse I will again press the right mouse button. You can see this is how we have created our new sketch entities. Next again I will go to surfaces and then specify my option, extrude surfaces. I will extrude this for X length, let's say 40 millimeters. Once I have done this I will click on OK. Now I want to cut this body with this surfaces over here. For that I will go to trim surfaces, I will select mutual, I will first clear all the selection, I will select all of these using box selection. Once we have done this I will go to this section over here and now I will specify what bodies are supposed to be deleted or removed or rather trimmed. I will select all of these surfaces, I will rotate my body, select this surface over here, select this surface over here, and now when I press Ctrl 7 you can see that I have generated this cut over here. Once we are satisfied with all our faces that we have cleared off, I will click on OK and generate the trim option or rather the trim feature. You can see here this is how we have created a surface over here by first creating a new surface and trimming off this previous surface with that new surface. This is how you can use your functions in the surface tab in order to create surfaces according to your design needs. Next we will add a fillet over here at this edge. I will select both of these edges and then add a fillet of 5 millimeters. Once I have done this I will click on OK and generate the fillet. You can see that now this body is taking its final form one step at a time. Next thing that we would be doing over here is that we would be creating a new plane over here which would be at an offset of 40 millimeters to our top plane. For that what I did here was that I selected my top plane, pressed Ctrl and simply dragged my mouse upwards. I will enter 40 over here and then I will click on OK. Once I have created this plane, I will now start sketching on this plane. I will click on this plane and go to sketch. Once we are in the sketch mode, I will press Ctrl 8 and now I will simply create a center rectangle over here. I will use the inference line so that the center of this rectangle is along the origin. I will create a rectangle over here like this, and now I will use dimension in order to specify or define this rectangle. I will now get into the smart dimensions command. I will specify this side of the rectangle at a distance of 40 degrees from the extreme edge. I will specify the width of my rectangle to be 30 millimeters and its height to be 15 millimeters. Once we have done this, now you can see that the center has shifted, so I will select the center, press Ctrl and select this origin over here and make both of them horizontal. You can see this is how we have created our first sketch. Now I will press Ctrl Q, rebuild the part and exit the sketch mode. Again I will select this face over here, rather this plane over here, and then start sketching on it. I will again create a second rectangle that would also be a center rectangle, starting from the same center. Now I will again get into the smart dimensions command and specify this distance over here as 37.5. Once I have done this, I will assign a dimension to this width over here, to this rectangle. It would be 35. Yes, I want this to be a driven dimension. I will click on OK. And now next I will give this a height of 20 millimeters. Once we have done this, we are ready to move to our next part. I will press Ctrl Q and then again rebuild my part. You can see over here that we have created two sketches on this plane. I will show you why did we create this. Now from here I will go to the drop down of insert. From here I will select curve and from here I will select projected. Now from here the projection type options I will select sketch on faces. It is asking what sketch should I be projecting. For now it has selected the right sketch, but I will show you how do we do it manually. I will first clear the selection, go to the drop down zone from over here and select this sketch number 4. It will also show you the highlight for which sketch you are selecting. Either you can do it from here or you can directly select the sketch directly from your window over here. Next it is asking me projection faces. On what face do you want to project this sketch? So I will click and select this face over here. Now if you carefully take a look at a preview, you can see that what it is doing over here is that it is projecting this rectangular sketch onto this curved surface. You can see that the rectangular sketch is following the curvature of this base feature over here. I will now click on OK and then generate this feature, that is the curve or this sketch has been now projected onto this curved body over here. Now why did we do this? Because we want to create a lofted surface over there. For that, we will select both of our profiles about which a loft is supposed to be created, and then I will simply click on OK. Why did we do this? Why did we project that curve onto this surface over here? Because I wanted, if I set it into the isometric mode, or rather if I take a look at this from the side, and now with the help of a sketch, I will show you why did we do this. We did this because I wanted a distance of 30 millimeters over here, and I wanted a distance of exactly 35 millimeters over here, that is in the horizontal direction. That's why we first created a sketch over here of 35 millimeters, and then we projected it onto this surface over here downwards, so that this body is intersecting on this circular feature over here exactly at 35 millimeters. That was the purpose of creating a projection. Now I will clear all the sketches on the screen and then we will move forward. Now our plane is no longer required, so I will select the sketch, I will select the plane and then hide it. Once we have done this, I will zoom in and now I will go to the surfaces tab. I will first exit the sketch mode. Now I will create a planar surface over here because I want to close this open part over here. I will specify all the edges about which the planar surface is supposed to be created, and once I specify all of them, you can see that a preview is being showing how the planar surface would be created. I will click on OK and generate this planar surface. Next, what I will do is that I will trim off this excess part over here. For that, I will go to the trim option, and from mutual I will specify this lofted surface and this surface over here. Now I will specify and go to this selection over here. I will click on this option or this surface over here which is being highlighted. If I click on it, you can see that the surface over here or the face over here has been trimmed. I will click on OK, and this is how the surface over here was trimmed and this hole was created. Now we are almost close to completing our geometry. The next step here is that we need to add fillets on these edges, but it is not possible here because now there are different bodies. In order to add a fillet, all of these should be one body. I will go to the drop down and show you. This is our first body, that is the lofted body. Next we have the planar surface, that is another body, and third we have this revolve feature. You can see that there is no connectivity between all these three surfaces. So first we will have to knit all of them. I will simply click on knit surfaces over here and specify all the bodies that are supposed to be knit together. I will click on OK, and you can see that now only one body has been created. Now we can go ahead and add the fillets. I will go to the fillets tab, select this edge over here. Okay, it is asking me the curves cannot be used to add fillets. So we will hide this option over here, that is our curve. I will expand this and I will hide this sketch. Once I have done this, again, but still the curve is being shown, I will first exit this and I will hide the curve feature itself. Now we can select this edge over here. It won't be an issue now. I will go to fillets and I will select this edge, and in the selection toolbar I will specify all the loop, or rather all the edges in the loop. Here the option says right loop. I will select that. Again I will select this topmost edge, and then again I will select this option that says between right feature and part. If I select that, you can see all of these edges where I want a fillet to be added have been selected. Now I will change the fillet radius to 2 millimeters, and now I will click on OK. If I press Ctrl 7, you can see that now my part is generated. But there is one last feature that we are supposed to be adding. I will hide this sketch over here first. I will click on this sketch and then select hide. Now nothing is obstructing our model over here, and we have a clear view of it. But there's one thing remaining over here. We forgot to add fillets to these edges over here. So I will again go to fillets, edit feature, and in the selection I will add these edges as well. I will select this option that says connected to start loop. You have to first cross verify if these are being added. Again, the selection have been lost. I will select this one that says connected to start loop, and now from the preview you have to make sure that only the edges that you want to add to your selection are being selected. So once I specify this and click on OK, now you can see that we have given a fillet to all the edges where it was necessary. But still, if you take a section view over here, you can see that this is still a thin surface, or rather a zero thickness geometry. For this, I will first exit the section view and then we will thicken this surface. I will simply select thicken over here. Next, I will specify the thicken parameters, or rather the face or surface which is supposed to be thickened. You can see that now the material is being added on the outside. I don't want this. I will select this third option, that is the thickness 2 or thicken side 2. You can see now the material is being added on the inside. From the thickness over here, I will specify as 2 millimeters because I want this object to be generated of 2 millimeter thickness. Once I have entered all my input parameters, I will click on OK, and you can see here that we have added a thickness to the surface geometry. Now if we take a section view, and I will click on OK, press Ctrl 7, set it to isometric, you can see here that now we have a thickness over here added, and now this is not a zero thickness geometry. If I select this edge over here, at the bottom you can see that the length of this is 2 millimeters, denoting that a thickness of 2 millimeters has been added. Now if I select this inner face over here and rotate it, you can see that only this face has been selected. Previously, if I had selected this face was also being selected as it was a zero thickness geometry. I will end section view and now exit it. I will press Ctrl 7, set it to isometric. I hope all the features that were taught to you in this video were clear and you had fun creating this part over here. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.